Because corruption is a serious risk to social justice, sustainable development, and national security, and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, I am harnessing our working relationship with other arms of government to encourage the judiciary and parliament to enhance integrity and efficiency by adopting digitization and automation.
Deputy President William Ruto is the most corrupt political leader in Kenya. This is according to the latest poll by research firm Ipsos Synovate. The report indicates that 33% of Kenyans rank the deputy president as the most corrupt, followed by Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru at 31%. The research was conducted in 45 counties with a representation of about 2,000 households.
So today we were lectured on corruption by the most corrupt man. The most corrupt man by 2022 lecturing us on corruption. But here is what he had to say about it.
Because corruption is a serious risk to social justice, sustainable development, and national security, and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, I am harnessing our working relationship with other arms of government to encourage the judiciary and parliament to enhance integrity and efficiency by adopting digitization and automation. As I do so, I must caution that all these measures will only achieve intended results if, and only if, the institutions charged with combating corruption and promoting efficiency and integrity stop hiding behind the transparent screen of independence and rise up to meet the people's expectation on matters integrity. Let me say this. It cannot be the case that the Director of Public Prosecutions keeps dropping cases because somehow they are unable to produce witnesses. It cannot also be the case that corruption suspects rush to court to obtain anticipatory bail that shields them from due process and enables them to compromise investigations. There is also no reason for corruption cases to drag in our courts for years, when the same courts are able to determine election petitions and related disputes within 6 months. Members, it is also unacceptable for the Houses of Parliament to deny the nation a much-needed instrument in the war against corruption by continuing to sabotage the passage of the Conflict of Interest Bill. I implore you, honorable members, to stop dragging your feet on this bill, unless, my friends, there is a conflict of interest in the passing of the conflict of interest legislation. Similarly, the National Treasury has been dragging its feet in the implementation of an e-procurement system for the last 10 years. Today, I have directed the National Treasury to roll out the e-procurement system by the end of the first quarter of 2025 and ensure that going forward, only procurement undertaken through this system is sanctioned and paid for. Of the many difficult assignments I have undertaken, this fight against corruption is one I now take on with resolve going forward. Let this serve as notice to all. Independent institutions charged with this responsibility must up their game, pull up their socks, and match up to the expectations of the people of Kenya. Honorable members, I have stated in the past and now reiterate today that in the face of undisputed evidence or credible information on corruption, I will not hesitate to take decisive action. Accordingly, I now direct, in furtherance of the principles enshrined in Article 10 of the Constitution on transparency and accountability, and based on new information provided by investigative agencies and partner nations, that the procuring agencies within the Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum immediately cancel the ongoing procurement process for the JKIA expansion public-private partnership transaction, as well as
So Ruto blames the ODPP and the court system for corruption. Yet the people who are being favored by that system, or the people who are getting freed by that system, are most of his friends. So why is it that Linturi was not arrested for selling as fake fertilizer? If really you want to fight corruption, why is Linturi not in jail? Were you part of it? Why is it that the edible oil scam, which involved both Linturi and Moses Kuria, why is it that they are not prosecuted? Why is it that the ODPP never even followed up on the matter? And we are sure it happened. So who's the fool, or who is fooling who? So it's just words that mean nothing. Our president keeps telling us words that mean nothing. They're just words. So he'll say that he's fighting corruption, yet for a very long time he's been the most corrupt man in Kenya, according to most of the population. Most people perceive or are sure that Ruto is a very corrupt guy. And that's the guy that's telling you that he's going to fight corruption. He's followed up closely by Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru. And also for Anne Waiguru, everyone is sure that the NYS scandal happened and people knew whatever she did. Yet people still voted for her. So as a country, I don't think we care about corruption that much, because we keep electing corrupt leaders. Look at Waiguru, look at Uhuru, look at Ruto, look at most of these governors. Most of them have corruption cases. Look at even Gachagua. By the time we were electing him, he had numerous corruption cases, yet still people elected him into office. So this act that Ruto is trying to pull, where he's saying that he's going to fight graft and he's going to fight corruption, is he going to fight all his friends? Because most of his friends are corrupt. So who's fooling who? Is the president fooling us, or should we believe that it's changed, that he's no longer corrupt and that his friends are going to change after this statement? Because Moses Kuria is still in government, Linturi is still working scot-free after selling to farmers fake fertilizer for months and months. The only people that saved us were the journalists. The government didn't save us. So for the edible oil, this is an expose done by Nation TV.
In secret documents that have now been shared with the NTV Investigations Unit, it all began in the very first cabinet meeting chaired by President William Ruto.
Frederick, how are you?
In that meeting held on the 10th of November 2022, Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria and his agriculture counterpart Mithika Linturi presented a brief to the cabinet codenamed CAB Inset 2272. That brief was to seek for the importation of maize, beans, rice, sugar, wheat, soya, cooking oil and fertilizer. In the cabinet meeting, please note, the reason for the importation given by Moses Kuria and Mithika Linturi was to assist in lowering the cost of living. It has taken the NTV Investigations Unit 7 months to uncover that a lot more went into the deal than just the flurry of inter-office letters and documents. What we have before us is an indication of how oily, shadowy, and connected individuals may have walked away with some 5.6 billion shillings at the expense of the government. But as it would appear, top government officials were involved in aiding what comes across as coordinated tax evasion. In the midst of an economic downturn and a skyrocketing cost of living, taxpayers stand to lose billions of shillings through the Kenya National Trading Corporation, which imported the edible oils through companies that are connected to people in government.